Mouth guitar intro. We're gonna stream and we're gonna draw. Mouth guitar intro. I can see the comments on the left. Hey everybody, welcome back to Runehammer up here in the rain capital of the world, the great northwest of Upper Runehammer. For those of you who tuned in, oh geez, it must have been a few months back. It must have been 3-4 months ago. Me and Jose were kicking it together and just did a sort of a drawing stream just as a Wednesday afternoon thing. And so I was like, man, it's been too long since we've hung out and just did some drawing. So Jose Leite is back, you guys, and we're gonna kick it today and talk a little bit about this big project that he finished, because you guys should have a look. And if you look in the description for the video, I linked his ArtStation page in there. So if you're starting to doze off while we're yammering and drawing, you can always go over to ArtStation and look at all of Jose's cool stuff. Yeah. But Jose, nice to have you back, man. How you been, my brother?
Thank you so much. It's been great. It's been really great. And I've been always catching on to your videos like a proper lumpy-headed weirdo. And yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. So you have been neck deep in becoming an educated artiste. So what went down? What to tell us your tale, my man?
So, it's a nice tale, I think. So basically, I'll start in the beginning. So because I think it's a nice story. It's not too long, so I won't bore you with many details. So basically, more than I think it was 2015. Yeah, 2015. I was working in something completely unrelated with art. And I had just finished with, well, basically my degree in fine arts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided I wanted to do something different, started working, blah, blah, blah. And then I came to the fantastic moment where I started playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pretty new. I'm pretty new at this. So, and then I started a campaign with my friends, with 3 great friends of mine. And I started writing this campaign. It was basically at the point where basically Runehammer was still Dungeons and Dragons, and I was watching your videos, getting super inspired. And so I basically started thinking that I really wanted to do something else than just working on what I was working. And then I decided, yeah, I want to pursue a lifetime in art. And specifically something that has to do with fantasy and other things related to it.
So you were making that decision right as you were getting into D&D for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. Which then later on, basically I enlisted, well, not enlisted, but I started my master's degree in illustration. And basically the first year was... I did a lot of things, but nothing completely or totally related with Dungeons and Dragons. But I knew that my final project, I knew it had to be something to do with the campaign I did with my friends.
Right.
So basically, we played that campaign for about, I'd say, a year and a few months, maybe a year and a half almost. And you know how D&D campaigns are, super intricate. Then you got the guy and the girl that did this and that, and then you know how things are. And I knew I had to simplify. I knew I wanted to use the main characters, of course, which were 3 guys: the fighter, a monk, and a cleric. Well, yeah, it just became a really big project, and I decided that I wanted to do sort of an art book with it. So I do all the images, or many of the images. Unfortunately, I didn't do everything I wanted. If I count down, I think I did about a third of what I planned in the beginning. which is, yeah,
like you have some weird list in like a Google Doc somewhere.
Yeah, you only did a piece of it. One of the walls in my studio was completely covered with drawings and then sketches. Oh, I got to do this, and then this is important, and then that also is important. And then was like, okay, dude, I can't. There's no way I can draw and paint all this. You got to cut it down.
Right.
So it was pretty a daunting project. I had never done something so big, at least in time wise, because the art book took about a year and a half to do. Besides all the master's thesis thing and writing about stuff, but yeah, I came to a final product, which I'm gonna show if I can. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, man, pull it up. So a lot of the images you guys will see on Jose's ArtStation come out of this art book that he did between D&D and grad school, which is an awesome way to just trick your way into doing more cool D&D.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It was it's kind of ironic because I started playing D&D and then I started I started playing D&D, I stopped working, and now work is something based on D&D. So it's kind of a twist, you know, it's like a going around.
Yeah, once it starts happening, it just starts sweeping you up.
So I'm gonna share this Photoshop. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the. Can I put this? Yeah. Okay. So is everything showing up okay?
I just see a great, wonderful black void at the moment.
Oh no! Okay.
It's so beautiful in its nothingness.
Oh, that's terrible. We are having technical problems.
No, well, hey, it's just a hangout.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
So, how can I show these things? Is it not showing my desktop?
Yeah, if you do a screen share and then say your entire display instead of an application window, that should give us your whole computer.
That's not what I'm on. I don't understand. Let me check on this. Application window. How about this? Nope. Oh my God, this is terrible. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm still over here drawing. I'm still in it.
How can I show? Okay, dang it. I'll show it on Photoshop. I don't care.
You know, that's what I always wind up doing just because Photoshop is my home.
Yeah, basically. So I'm going to...
Yeah, it's just, it never lets me down.
Yeah. It's weird, though. I'm pretty sure there's, like, really simple solution to this, but I'm not seeing it. I'm sorry. So, okay. Should have prepared.
Prepare?
Yeah, should have prepared so that people wouldn't be like,
isn't it like one
guy has no idea what he's doing.
Oh, you're even up?
Oh, it's just 11 here, so it's okay. I'll probably stay awake for quite a while. I still have to pack my bag. So.
Oh, cool.
So.
Hey, they're all starting to come through. Cool.
Yeah. Oh God, there's a lot of pages. I hope my Photoshop doesn't crash. So how about you? What are you gonna draw?
Well, I am in the third phase of the Cryfoth project. So Connor and Megan, who make up Dice on Ice, have been working on this 5e setting book for coming up on a year now.
Yes.
And sort of the more that we work on it, the more they want to put into it, which is a great relationship to have. And so recently they signed me up to do a third sort of phase of all this different character art and divider pages for the chapters and, you know, all the normal stuff you find in a cool setting book. Mm-hmm. So some of them, the backgrounds, use this sort of slightly more stylized character style, which is black, white, and red. And then those pieces of art like capture some of the character background. So I'm just doing one of those right now.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're so fun to work with, and Cryfoth has just turned into a really, really cool, setting, and they've given me a lot of freedom in how it all sort of has looked and felt, and it really has been a joy to work with them. They're awesome.
Cool.
So you got everything working now?
Yeah. So I'm ready to show off.
Awesome.
So, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Okay. Yeah. Cool. So, basically, the name of the project is the Art of the Dark Traders, which was the campaign, and I did this book sort of in when you I don't know if most of you guys must know what I'm talking about. So when you buy an art book of a video game, like I don't know, let's say Fallout 4 or whatever it is, it kind of tells you the progression of well, creating the characters and the environments and all that, but also mixed in with a bit of the lore and a bit of the story. It doesn't tell you the story exactly, it doesn't narrate you the story, but it gives you bits and pieces. And to me, that was pretty important because, again, the story was way too complicated to be put on a book.
Well, and you're the DM and the writer too, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I did most of the terrain for our games, so that's also
that's awesome, man.
yeah.
All in.
Yeah, I was completely all in, man. Yeah. So basically, and I had a really good friend of mine do all the design, and another friend of mine did the book binding, and like I said, this I only have 6 books of these. And they were a real pain in the ass to make. I had like gazillion problems, but in the end, I have something I'm really proud of, and so yeah. So basically,
what press did you use to get them made?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Where did you get them made? What press?
Basically, well, it was a company that, well, it's here in my city, and I basically handmade everything, or kind of handmade, because I printed out everything, all the sheets, and then gave them to the bookbinder, and then went to another place to print the covers, and then came back to the bookbinder and gave him the covers. So it was a lot of back and forth. I didn't just do something and then like gave something, that gave everything and the PDFs and all that to a specific service, and then they gave me the product. That didn't happen. So I was really involved in the making of it. Yeah, so it was completely the nitty gritty of everything. I was there, man. I was all over it.
Awesome.
A lot of stress, though. Let me see if I can full screen this.
Still, at that point, though, you get all that learning to take into whatever you do next.
It is true, yeah, yeah, and I think it was really good that I did that, and like I said, it was a lot of stress, but I learned so much. And if one day I'll make another book, whatever it is, I already know a lot of things and a lot of mistakes I made that were so simple. They were so basic things, and it was so simple to just fix them. And I went to a whole lot of trouble because I didn't know, basically.
Yep.
So yeah. So basically, here are the 3 main characters, right? So you got from left to right, you have Lazarian Shieldheart, Nodar Nodraxius, and Sotudubon. And so it was the fighter, the cleric, and the monk. So yeah, and the story basically it revolved around, and I'm gonna try to simplify this a lot. But it revolved around the monk, and which is a tiefling, his father, which was like one of the hellish princes of the abyss. So he was the big bad guy, and he was his son. So the whole quest was for him to find his father and just push him away so that he didn't invade Toril. And we were playing in the regular Forgotten Realms fantasy.
So it's a bit of like a Vader dad.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But without the redemption. So there was no redemption. So yeah, basically, and so it's divided into several chapters, from characters to environments, and so basically you can see. Oh no, it's hopping, I think. Yeah, you can see the character development for example, Lazarian.
Yeah.
His helmets, weapons he used or might have used, and then in the end, I would always do like a final illustration and a sort of a phrase that would kind of make you understand what the character was about. So some of these duties, or the way he thought and the way he felt, and also the way the player behaved. And actually, these phrases were I asked my players to write them themselves. So this piece of little text wasn't written by me; it was written by them.
Nice.
So
That's
they
cool.
had like an active role in the book also. So then, chapter 4, you have Nodar Noraxius, and this guy it was really funny because he was a really nice character, but then whenever he had like an enemy in front of him, he would always be like, "You're going down, man. I'm gonna chop you real nice." And every time he said that, a critical fail was ensured. Super fun. So yeah, the portraits, again, the character, final illustration, and of course, like their equipment changed through the course of the campaign, but I had to somehow adapt that and make it into just a single gear that they were using.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just need to pick their ideal state and just kind of portray it.
Exactly.
I wind up doing that a lot with characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty sensible decision to make because there's, I mean, you can, of course, but I don't. For this case in particular, I think it was way better than I just okay. I'm gonna make the decisions on how your character is, but based on how you played and what you did. So there are a couple of things in the characters that I knew they wanted it. For example, the monk. There was this thing that he was very socially awkward, and he didn't know the value of money, because for him just gold pieces were just, I don't, what is this, I don't want this. He was just interested in gems, so gems, diamonds, all those things, and so that was something I knew it was important for the character, and it kind of also reflected a bit on his wardrobe, because since he was basically a hermit, so I wanted him to try to get into society again, and also because there were fantastic, very laughable moments that just appeared out of nowhere, especially in taverns. So yeah, now we're getting into a bit of environments. So this was actually the beginning.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is some of the first stuff that I saw you doing.
Yeah, this is way over a year ago, man.
Yeah, like that dwarven cavern where they're discovering that big door, I think is actually the first time I emailed you, and I was like, damn, dude, that's so cool.
Thanks. That was actually, we played that. I'm pretty sure of this. We played that after you launched your video on the Duergar mines. I was so inspired by that. I was like, I'm gonna craft like Duergar mines, and then we're gonna go to the Underdark, and it's gonna be crazy.
That's so awesome that those are connected, man.
Yeah. Like I told you, man, it's like it goes around. It's like a whole big circle.
That's nuts.
And that's super interesting. So again, like illustrations. There was always this thing where let me go back. Well, so I study a bit of the environment, and then so like I'm not going to say props, but bits and pieces of the architecture, and then put it into the illustrations. So a lot of thumbnail work. This is for because this was basically an elven temple, and they arrived. It was in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, those are really sweet. I like those.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and there was they went underground. There was sort of a shrine or a thing that transported him to the Underdark. It was crazy, man. There's like so many things happened. But it was a real joy to have that, to have the opportunity to play this and then work on it. It was really special, and that's one of the most special feelings I get, is like being really rewarded for, okay, I played with something, I had a fantastic time with my friends, and now very naturally this became something else, something bigger. It's part of my portfolio, and it's eventually something that will land me into the art world, so to speak.
Yeah, man. Well, and it's a cool story too, because it's very similar to how I kind of worked my college, was to always stay interested in like ancient things and literature, and kind of keep my interests somewhat orbiting my D&D, but I didn't quite manage to hit it right on the head like you did.
Yeah, I don't think I nailed it, but I don't know. I'm happy with it again. So yeah, this is the part on the Underdark.
In the comments, there's a question, but Jose mentioned it earlier, Dean, that he made this book custom. So there's only 6 of these in the world. So
yeah,
maybe someday we'll be able to buy it, but currently it's just a real, like, a craftsmanship project. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Can't get it quite yet, but maybe someday. But who knows? There's so many things to do.
Yeah, man, so many things to do. And I'm, I whenever people ask me, oh, can I, are you selling these, or is this something bigger, or what's going on, or what are you gonna do with this? I'm like, yeah, maybe I should, one day pick this up again and then remake it, rework it, maybe get it into something bigger. I don't know what. I have absolutely no. Is it gonna be a comic or a game or a board game or what the hell? I don't know. But it's a fuel, no? It's like it's a core that I can one day turn into something bigger, and maybe even well, obviously sellable, because I want to eat and things like that, and have a roof over my head. But yeah, who knows? I'm not exactly looking at the chat, but
oh, that's okay. Rock on. Oh man, that one's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great to just see it paged through. It's just so fun.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I'm pretty sure you felt this whenever you printed, I don't know, maybe RCRPG or any other of your books, but the feeling when you get from a digital platform and you work on it, and then you print it out, and it materializes into this thing that you can flip through, Oh yeah. Man, it was one of the best feelings ever. When the book was finished and I was able to flip through it, I had this moment, was like, damn, this is fantastic. It's
totally different to have it in your hands.
Completely.
Than to be looking at it digitally for weeks and months.
Yeah. So yeah, and I wasn't talking about this, but in the beginning of each chapter, I had basically like a small description of basically, it was world building. You could say that. So I would explain a bit of what this next thing was, and then I explained how I thought about it, and visually how I composed it. And of course, all the images that you're looking This is not the full book. The book is 112 pages of content, and we only have 36 pictures. So that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I mean, it's cool too. It's like you mentioned with, will it be a game? Will it be a board game? Who knows? But since you just did it for yourself in a way, for education, for a project, you get to sit on all that now. Like, that's all yours with no rights or anything on it. So when the time comes to make that into a world book or a source book or something, which I hope happens someday, then you just bang, you got all the art already done, which is one of the most time-consuming parts of every book project.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and then it's like, let's write a world around this. Well, we kind of already did. Okay, well, let's finish it and get it out there.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, I have I'm pretty curious to maybe one day pick this up again, and who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
Anything
is
is
possible.
possible.
This is the final chapter, actually. So it was the Abyss and its denizens, and it was the end of the campaign. And it was pretty. It was like, I think it only lasted for about maybe 2 sessions. Yeah, it was like 2 4-hour sessions, 4 or 5-hour sessions, something like that. And it was just utter chaos. I remember when we were playing this on the table, and my players, like, they were hanging onto their lives. They were rolling crits, moments of, oh, damn, I'm gonna fall into the lava, and then they throw a demon into the lava. It was so crazy, so crazy. I'm pretty sure it was, if not the best sessions I ever had, some of the, like, top 5 for sure.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and these were some of the bad guys that I called Agrar, and I got minis out for these guys. I got them. I don't know. It's a board game. I don't know what the name.
Oh yeah, that guy is kick ass.
Yeah. This was a kind of a bit more general type guy, and these guys were pretty hard to beat. I homebrew some of the stats, and then of course you had hellhounds and the works. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of the book, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and maybe it will spark some creativity on your minds to, put this or something that comes out of this into your own games. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot for sharing all that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So what were you going to do for your project here? I'm half an hour into my
half an hour already.
What are you going to work on?
So I was going to ask the chat if you so kindly help me decide on what to paint. So the last stream I did, I sketched out a character, but today I have 2 pre-existing sketches that I actually just scanned from my actually from an older sketchbook. I think it was like last year's sketchbook. So I have A and B, and I would like the chat to help me out and into deciding. Is this thing working? Yeah. Into deciding if which one do you want me to paint?
Yeah. What do you think? We got just over 30 people hanging out with us right now, so just holler out for A or B. Already, Daniel is wanting BBB. There's another vote for B. Oh yeah, there's 3 in a row.
Okay, B is
taking that. I also like that Shield Warrior a lot. He's really got a lot of flavor.
Thank you. Okay, A, 2 A's. I'm just cycling through them so people can keep on watching. So I think B is going strong.
Looks like B is pulling away. Green beef. Now that's a username.
Okay, so it is decided then. B it is.
Awesome. So while you're getting into it there, I think I'm about done with my Legionnaire here.
Really?
So I'm gonna call him good and move on to the next one. But also for everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. All that good stuff as usual. Another reason that me and Jose wanted to hang out and just get our voices out a little bit today is what I was excited to let everybody know. So already you guys can see like Jose's got like a style that is wildly different from mine, but in a way, we kind of just get along with the whole thing. And so I don't think I've mentioned it anywhere before. So if you're tuning in, you're getting the first skinny on this announcement. But the third Runehammer novel is totally complete now. It's back from proofreading. It's completely done. And it's only going to be available at first in a trilogy hardback book. So it's going to be all 3 Runehammer novels together in one like linen covered book, like a nice like library quality book. And you're going to be able to get it on Lulu, the book website. And there's going to be 2 editions. The first edition is called the Anthology Edition, and it's got all 3 novels in one book. And the second one is called Collector's Edition, and that's going to have illustrations by Jose of a lot of the characters and a few of the scenes in the Runehammer novels. So those of you who are, readers from Mud and Horn and the Shield of Hanar, and then the third book is Of Wolves and Wonders. This book will be a real treat because you can have all 3 in one and kind of get that full story experience. The more that I wrote the third book, the more I realized I really was writing kind of one story and hadn't even fully planned that, but that's just what happened. So it only made sense to put all 3 in one big book together. And then I was like, man, some of these like chapter pages or maybe divider pages or whatever, they got to have a sort of a historical looking illustration style. And Jose was the first person to come to mind. So we're going to work together to get that whole thing done probably throughout May.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, then I'll pull it all together and we'll get that book out for either the end of May or probably more like the beginning of June. So super excited, especially, and this piece that Jose is working on right now is a perfect example of the kind of feel that I was imagining captures the world of Mud and Horn really well. I don't feel my style captures it. So I've never done illustrations for my own novels, which may sound weird, but
yeah, it kind of does. I kind of thought about that actually. Like you draw and paint so much. Like I never saw an illustration of I don't know, like Horn and stuff, and even Mud. I think I don't know. I might be saying something stupid.
Well, it can also just be like how you perceive your own art.
Oh yeah,
can be weird, and maybe you're not seeing it how others see it. And so I always see my art as sort of cartoony feeling. And I never imagined my novels as having anything cartoony. They're like dead serious and historical feeling to me. Yeah. So I wanted that old kind of woodcut feel almost. So anyways, that's going to be awesome, guys. So that's I hope a huge collabo between us, and the first time I've ever entrusted any of my writing to an illustrator and stuff. So we're going to be
damn.
We're going to be learning together.
Did that. Just up the scale, man, and it's not gonna
yeah, no pressure. It'll be no big deal.
Yeah, but I'm gonna do my best for sure because I've read the books and I love the books, so it's a real pleasure to work this with you and actually do my best. So, and again, it's crazy in how things go around. It's like 2.5 years ago I was watching your videos on how to play D&D, and 2 years after, boom, here I am.
That's crazy. That's just like manifesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So while you're doing your shield guy, my next assignment is these 2 orcs, sort of tribal style orcs that are sitting by a campfire, like between their adventures.
Nice.
So this one's a little tougher than just a character piece. It's a little more of a scene piece.
Yeah, those are always more a bit more complicated.
Yeah, so you guys can watch me bumble through it and change my mind a few times. But why not just start throwing some ink down and see what happens?
Yeah, I was thinking, because I bought the legs on this guy on the sketch. So I was thinking I should cut the legs a bit. Oh, there's the whole page. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that, because again, I really wanna paint and mess up painting and not mess up sketch.
Right. Just like those legs never happened.
Yeah,
There you go. They're gone.
it's okay.
Yep. You just keep on keeping on. Well, legs and feet are always weird anyways. They're always challenging.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, hands are super complicated, but my biggest fear is the legs for sure. It's like legs and feet, because I don't know. I think mainly because it's an element of the human body that, well, for the lack of a better word, grounds you to the environment. And it's, again, when you're doing an environment piece with or a scene piece, actually, it can really show that you're not as good as you thought you were.
Right.
Because you didn't you failed basically on that.
Well, it's also like legs and feet have a tendency to look weird, even when they're correct. Like even in photos and stuff, sometimes like people's legs and feet can look really odd.
That is also true. Yeah.
You know, like the foreshortening, or I'm not sure what it is, but you can get these weird angles. So if you're looking at reference, say, or a model, you're like, is that really what I'm seeing? Like that looks, those knees are weird. But I remember a huge breakthrough for me was when I was doing the concept art for Shinobi.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting into doing these like lots of ninja sort of action poses and animation concepts and stuff like that. And I was drawing the character so many times in those little ninja tabby socks, which are kind of shaped like, you know, sock feet or bare feet.
Yeah.
And I was drawing so many little thumbnails of the guy, like jumping, flipping, running, doing all this stuff. I eventually just became really impatient with it. And so I started doing my feet in like 3 strokes, you know, like a blobby center and a little big toe, and then the rest of the toes with 1 stroke.
Yeah.
And that is when I really had like my breakthrough of like not worrying so much about it. The more hasty I got, the better I was drawing the feet, because that gesture was there, you know, the energy of the pen rather than really stressing over it.
Yeah, I totally understand. Sometimes the more you stress something to work, is, you know, the more you're gonna fail at it. Sometimes you just got, you know, loosen up and don't worry.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to pass your strain onto the viewer.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll feel it. They'll be like, why do I feel like tension when I look at this?
Yeah, and that isn't easy. That's not an easy thing to do. What am I doing? Sometimes it's, you know, making pictures is a struggle, because you're creating something that is coming out of your head. Yeah, and I had a teacher in college that he explained to me that, well, this is more applicable to when you're doing how is it? Basically, you have like a nude model or anything at all, and you're drawing it. And basically, he was explaining that, okay, so there are several stages to drawing, and especially to live drawing. So first, your eyes perceive information, and then that information is going to go through your head. It's going to be processed, and when you're going to draw it, it's gonna come out something different. So, and there's different stages on how that happens, and that's a really interesting thing. It's not basically just like I see something and I draw something. No, there are different stages and pit stops for the visual information to go from one place to another, from real life and then back to the paper. And when you really think about the neuroscience of making art and especially creating images, it's super interesting, and there are a lot of books that talk about that.
Yeah, like all the zaniness that occurs in your brain and in different areas to assemble both the knowing, the perceiving, and the creating, and then the critiquing.
Yeah.
All at the same stinking time, and it's all interesting and weird. Especially when you do it around the clock, like all the time. Obviously you put a lot of thought into it.
Yeah.
It starts becoming more and more interesting because you want to get better. And as everyone out there watching knows, getting better at art is very, very difficult and time consuming.
True. That is very, very true. Thing. Yeah, but like anything, it's you work on it, and eventually you get better.
Yep.
There's there's a saying, and I don't remember the person that said it. My memory is so bad, but basically it's fail again, fail better. So it's constantly knowing that you're gonna fail, but continue to do it.
Yep.
And you'll get better eventually. Yep. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, and like one of the mottos that we used to use when I was working on video games was everybody's going to fail, but the key is to fail quickly.
Yeah.
So if you're going to mess it up, just go ahead. It's okay. Just do it fast. See it for what it is and move on. And that way you get lots of results and you can work toward better. But if it takes you weeks to muck something up, you're not going to get many more tries.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's like, man, this drawing sucks. Okay, well, it's over. It's just that fast. It's not this whole agonizing, maybe I'll work on it for the next week and someday it'll be good. And nope, just bag it.
Yeah, just bag it.
Just bag it. You fucked up. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yep. All right, I think I've got it took me a minute there, but I think I got my foundational part done here. So I got one guy sitting like sharpening a sword and the other one like dreaming about the cosmos.
Nice. So I have to say I'm just playing with colors. I'm sorry, but it's like this is a nice color. Like trying to make something I don't know. So thinking I don't want to color it just like human flesh and then armor and stuff like that. I was going for something a bit more like I don't know, expressionist maybe.
Yeah, it's almost like did you see Spart's piece that he did over the weekend?
Yeah.
The blue landscape, and he just did this really wild false color and just said screw it and went with it.
Yeah,
thought it was really cool.
Yeah, he's like really good.
Yeah, his mastery of color is without compare. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's a guy I follow that he's Raphael. Oh my god, my head with names. But basically, he's a concept artist, and he's actually he was the creative director, or the art director, I might say, for Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh man,
his mastery in environments is. I'm just gonna say it. It's outright absurd. It's damn. I'm always like, I want to live there. I don't know where that is.
This is unreasonably good.
Yeah, basically. So I'm gonna start to paint the guy, or else I'm not gonna get out of here. So yeah, and you can notice I work in a very, very slow pace. Even when I'm trying new things, I'm basically like doing and undoing, doing and undoing. Is this good? Is this not? What am I doing with my life? General
Oh, I
questions
felt
you
pretty good
get.
about that first highlight. You could have just stayed right there.
But yeah,
What am I doing? Why have I done this same brushstroke 43 times? What am I?
exactly.
Is this what I've become?
I'm more than a brushstroke. Oh my god.
It's been 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that has happened sometime. I don't remember, but I don't know.
You blocked it out.
Yeah, probably maybe like
Yep. Your mind doesn't want to remember that.
yeah, selective memories or something.
Well, it's kind of cool. We got 40 people sort of coming and going while we're drawing, and we've got this like real quiet comment stream, which is very interesting. I think we have a nice Bob Rossi kind of effect going on everybody's brain.
So is it like hypnotizing people?
Yeah, everybody's just kind of chilling in the stream there. So that's a good sign to me.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. That's good.
Peaceful.
Yeah, it's good. And honestly, I'm not really used to painting and drawing at the same, or like not painting and drawing. What am I saying? Painting and talking, or even drawing. Normally, it's something that I do. I'm a very not a secluded artist, but you know, when I'm doing what I'm doing, I kind of just retreat to my space and not want to be bothered by anyone.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I really love to work in creative projects with other people. So it's kind of a you know I should be able to draw and paint amidst a crowd or something, but I prefer to do my mistakes on my own.
I think for me, the real crucible of doing that was working in a big professional studio.
Yeah.
It really will break down all your hangups about all that stuff. Like I think the toughest one probably being like performing on command.
Yeah.
So it's like, you guys, we need blah, and we're kind of out of time, and we just need something, and it needs to be cool. Go. And you're sitting right out there, especially the way that I would sit in the work environment. I would sit right out like by a hallway or an open space with my back to it so everyone could see my screen.
Bam.
And
Brave man.
that really will break down your hangups about like, people seeing like how many times you'll try a thing and muck it up. Or seeing that you looked at a photo to understand a pose, and that's not cheating. That's just how I get my art done. And I did this technique and that technique and blah blah blah, and you just start not caring because there's just no time.
Yeah, there's no time to care. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if one day I get to work on a studio, that will probably happen as well. And if anything, I'm pretty adaptive kind of guy, so I'll manage. If it needs to be done, it will be done.
Well, yeah, and if you're good, you'll get the chance to be in a private space. If that's something you need to perform, then that's super easy to accommodate in the professional environment. And a lot of concept artists that I worked with were more like that. They would face their monitor toward the wall.
Yeah.
And they would, set up like a sort of a board or a poster behind their computer, so they have like a little kind of hidey hole.
Yeah.
And then, go into that meditative state. And, if that's what needs to get done so that there's results, then that's what we're doing.
And that's, again, it's one way to do it, I guess.
So, man, this is challenging, only working in black, white, and red here. This is like very...
Yeah, you're working like in big strokes, and big pieces of yeah, black and red.
Yeah, it's really limiting. It's like a lot of the little story nuance that I want to tell. It's like eluding me a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really not sure if I could work in that sort of a style. To me, it's you know, if you look at the sketch, I have a ton of lines, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I need a lot of lines to tell a sort of what's going on. Maybe with time I'll get better at it and not have to do it as much. But you know, using simplicity is, I don't know, how was it? Simplicity is the ultimate luxury, I think. Yeah, that's a big thing, especially the architects. And so yeah, in my I come from a family of architects. Basically, my father's an architect, and my older brother's an architect.
Whoa!
So I always had like that thing, not like an obligation to be an architect as well, but you know that thing where, are you gonna be an architect? And but yeah, but no, I like architecture. I really love architecture, but not that much. Sorry.
Well, especially if it's around you too much, it can feel like I need to cut my own path here.
Yeah,
architecture's groovy and everything, but you know, I got to be my own self.
that is totally true. Switch.
Wow, zooming in after being at that distance all that time is bonkers. So thanks everybody for hanging out. We've had the same sort of 30, 40 folks kind of coming and going. Good to have y'all. Just another sort of chill out fest over here.
Oh, there's something. Eres Amir says, Amir, sorry, I am hypnotized.
Yup.
Thank you.
It's crazy. It's so soothing.
Soothing. Remember, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yep. No matter what you may think about what you're seeing, remember, I do not know what the hell is going to happen.
I think there's a sort of a science, you know, like to. Although you don't know what you're doing, you look like you do, and that's the thing. that is what people are like. Oh wow, that's not easy. That's not. I mean, that's basically a magician's trick, I guess.
For me, the hugest part is just to continue, just to keep going, no matter how weird you feel in your stomach about the quality or lack of quality. Just to keep going, just to keep hacking away at it until you just either are out of time or maybe one of your buddies says, dude, just stop.
Yeah, leave it.
Start over. Just, you're killing me. Like, screw you, man. You've set up my past 5 pieces. Yeah. They sucked. Ouch. Actually had a funny moment with Alex Alvarez, who is my sort of key editor on ICRPG 2nd edition, and he had these 2 pieces of art, and he just was kind of cringing. I could feel him cringing as he was telling me. He's like, dude, I know I'm here to critique the text, but there's 2 pieces of art I just can't stand.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm not an artist. I'm not qualified to say this, but I just don't like looking at them.
Yeah, but sometimes that's the whole point, you know.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I needed, you know. So I got right in there and changed those things up.
It's always well and good to you know, to show what we do And I mean, what I mean by what we do is like making images on top of all, to people that don't make images, that don't create something very visual, is that, you know, sometimes they just say it, you know, I like it or I don't like it, and
Right.
sometimes that's exactly what we need. That's all the simplicity that we needed.
Yeah.
And if you show it to someone that doesn't, you know, that is in the same area of expertise as you, sometimes they get into why it doesn't work, and, you know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and you question a whole lot of things. And sometimes you just need to, hey, it doesn't work, so start over, do it again. Basically it's pretty liberating when that happens.
Yeah, I agree. And sometimes it's nice to have the freedom to figure out for yourself,
Yeah,
you know, what it is that you want to do, bag it, switch it, change it, but you just wanted to hear the raw deal. You just, you know, like, is this awesome or not? It's not? Oh, okay, well, moving on.
yeah,
Let me figure this out.
it's true.
So now I'm going to try to do some red light coming off this fire. It's just, this is such a limited palette. It's crazy.
Yeah, really makes you work for it, like getting the shapes right, and
Yeah,
the
you
movement.
get so little.
Yeah. So I also just decided I wanted to use like a really simple color palette, just to, you know, try and make something different than just, you know, painting, because I wouldn't have enough time to paint a whole piece. And so yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and I think I'm failing at it, but keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's
It's just
see.
crazy how different the two things that we're working on are. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty different. It's pretty different. So yeah, let me see what's going on in the chat. Oh, there's a friend of mine. Hey. Cool.
There's a special hell for people that use emojis. There we go. And all these little embers coming up. She's sort of like watching the embers go up into the sky.
Nice.
She's like, man, tomorrow we're going to have to kill this guy. There's no way out of it. Cool. I think I might be checking on multiply here. So I bet Connor might still be at work. Otherwise, he could be like telling me if he approves of this. There is a joy in working for a client, in that you do get this fun feeling of like, even if you would have kept going, if they say, yeah, awesome, that's great, move on. It's like, oh, they like it. Okay, cool. Well, consider it shipped. All right. So am I storing in white or storing in, oh, okay, cool. Orcs with black lipstick, always cool.
It's a new fashion amongst the world.
they're all very you know, hot topicy. Oh crap! It's already 4 o'clock almost. So we've been sitting here dink-donking away for an hour now.
I didn't even notice.
Oh my gosh, that slid by
pretty fast.
That is crazy. Well, I think I'm good here. So if you guys are wondering, watching, the assignment is to do this black, white, and red that I'm doing so that it can be either shown with the white or just using a multiply ink, it can be shown with the sort of the page color serving as the white. So it's like, that's why I'm doing this sort of real choppy, extremely simple style, is that's my assignment. I'm actually, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's like kind of challenging. I'm kind of inventing a new style for myself. I don't really do this. It's like, yikes.
Not easy, for sure.
But I do love doing like single stroke shakes. You know, like if you do a fist and it's really just sort of 3 strokes, I think that's really fun.
Yeah, it's always. I think you talked about this, and I think it was you did a live stream on Saturday, right?
Yeah, in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you talked about this. Like a big part of just image creating and all that is just it's as important to show something as it is important not to show it. So it's always this mid point of drawing something and just leaving the rest for the who is watching or who's seeing what you're doing to imagine the rest. And this is pretty present in I think sketches and things that are a style that is very quick. You know, you leave a lot of things to the imagination of the viewer, and that's pretty big and not easy thing to do at all. Yeah.
Those embers will start a forest fire. Violence against zebras. He killed a zebra to make his cloak.
Oh God.
That's awesome. Well, hey, Jose, it was great having you, man. I think we're about out of time. It's coming up on 4 o'clock.
Sure thing. It was my pleasure to be here again.
Yeah, just another sort of chill session. So thanks everybody for just sort of stopping in and kind of zenning out with us there for an hour. That really went by in a flash.
Yeah, true that.
That was crazy. So tune in everybody on Saturday morning for more drawing, and Viking Death Squad Part 2 is coming up. So thanks as always for hanging out on Runehammer. Jose, thanks a lot for showing up and drawing, my man.
Thank you so much.
Yep, and we'll see you all on the internet. Until next time, we're out of here.